Breaking news! What happened to Yaman on his flight to Moscow? Fans stunned after his health suddenly deteriorates mid-air, the dramatic incident revealed. Can you imagine being on a flight, expecting a normal trip to a bustling city for work or leisure, when suddenly your favorite celebrity starts experiencing a serious health scare right in front of you? The moment you're enjoying the serene views of the clouds through the airplane window, and then everything takes a turn when a star you adore collapses or loses consciousness. How would you react? How would they handle the situation? That's exactly what happened to the beloved Turkish actor Yaman during a flight from Istanbul to Moscow. But what exactly went wrong, and how did he pull through in such a critical moment? What could have caused the sudden health emergency that struck unexpectedly? Was it the stress of his demanding career? Or could it have been the exhaustion from his constant travel schedule? Fans and passengers alike were left wondering, but it wasn't just an ordinary flight. This was a journey that would take Yaman's fans and followers on an emotional roller coaster, and the story behind it is as dramatic as any plot he's played out on screen. The calm before the storm, a smooth start turned chaotic. The actor, widely known for his iconic roles in Erkenci Kuş and Bey Yanlis, was aboard a private plane heading to Moscow for an important business meeting. Everything seemed calm and perfectly ordinary as Yaman settled in, preparing for the series of events ahead. Fans would be quick to assume that the trip was simply another routine flight for the internationally recognized star. But it was far from it. As the plane cruised high above the clouds on its way to Russia, Yaman suddenly began to feel unwell, and no one, including his team, could have anticipated what would unfold in the coming minutes. According to sources close to the actor, the first sign that something was wrong came when Yaman suddenly looked pale and struggled to maintain his composure. He initially tried to shake off the feeling, perhaps attributing it to the long hours he had spent traveling and working. However, things took a rapid turn for the worse. As the minutes passed, Yaman began to show signs of distress, including shortness of breath and dizziness. At this point, those seated near him became increasingly concerned. His team, who had been traveling with him, immediately recognized that something was seriously wrong and sprang into action. But what happened next would leave everyone in a state of shock and disbelief. An emergency in the sky, swift action by the crew and passengers. As Yaman's condition worsened, it became apparent that this wasn't just a minor health issue. His vital signs started to decline. He was visibly struggling to breathe, and his body language was enough to signal that something more dangerous might be happening. Without hesitation, the crew of the flight jumped into action. The flight attendants, trained in emergency first aid, swiftly brought out the onboard medical kit, and the aircraft cabin quickly transformed into a place of tense anticipation. What could they do in such a situation? Could the limited medical equipment on board be enough to stabilize the actor until they could land? Would they have to make an emergency landing? These questions raced through the minds of the passengers who witnessed the unfolding drama. But it was clear that Yaman's team and the flight crew were handling the situation with incredible professionalism and speed. The passengers watched anxiously, not knowing what would happen next, but hopeful that the actor would recover. Fortunately, the swift actions of the cabin crew and Yaman's dedicated team helped stabilize his condition. The flight attendants worked meticulously, following every necessary protocol, and the actor's team was there to offer whatever support they could. It was a tense few moments, but with the combined efforts of the crew and medical personnel, Yaman's condition began to stabilize. His breathing became more regular, and his face regained a little color. Though still visibly shaken, Yaman was alert again. His body was beginning to respond to the treatment, and for the first time, in what felt like an eternity, passengers were able to breathe a sigh of relief. Touchdown in Moscow, a city awaited by the actor, but not without a final health check. As the aircraft neared its destination, Moscow's international airport was ready for action. The emergency medical team stationed at the airport had been alerted well before landing. A medical team was already waiting for Yaman's arrival to ensure he received the necessary care as soon as they touched down. The big question on everyone's minds: was Yaman truly out of danger, or would this turn into a more serious situation? Upon landing, The actor was immediately assisted by Moscow airport's health professionals, who examined him in detail. Could this emergency have been prevented, or was it something beyond anyone's control? Experts suggest that Yaman's health scare could have been a result of the physical and mental toll his hectic schedule has taken on him. His rapid pace of international work, constant media attention, and long flights might have led to the sudden drop in his blood pressure. There was a concern that something even more severe could have been triggered, but thankfully, the medical teams at both the airport and the airplane responded quickly enough to prevent any lasting damage. Despite the scary circumstances, the actor was able to walk away from the incident without any major complications. The medical staff at the airport reassured Yaman's team that he was fit to leave the facility and continue his business commitments in the city. Yet, as one can imagine, the emotional toll of such an ordeal might still linger in his mind for some time. Fans reassured. Yaman shares his own update. As the shocking news of Yaman's health emergency spread rapidly, his devoted fans flooded social media, expressing their concerns and sending messages of support. But it was Yaman himself who took to his Instagram to ease everyone's worries. In a heartfelt post, he told his followers, "Hey everyone, thank you so much for your messages and your love. I'm doing okay now. I felt a little weak from all the traveling, but there's no need to worry. Everything's fine, and I'm ready to keep going." The actor's words came as a relief to millions who had been glued to their screens, waiting to hear from him directly. Yaman's calm and reassuring tone helped his fans realize that he was not in any immediate danger. His post was filled with heartfelt thank you messages from fans around the world who were relieved that their favorite star had made it through such a scary ordeal. A quick recovery and back to business. Yaman shows his strength. Despite the initial shock, it didn't take long for Yaman to bounce back. The actor, known for his impressive resilience, was soon spotted engaging in a series of meetings and interviews in Moscow, barely showing any signs of fatigue from the earlier scare. His determination to stay on schedule and keep pushing forward speaks volumes about his character. It seems that nothing, not even a sudden health scare mid-flight, could stop Yaman from fulfilling his professional commitments. Within hours of the incident, the actor was back to doing what he does best, engaging with fans, working with colleagues, and handling business matters in a city that had been eagerly awaiting his arrival. Yaman's ability to quickly recover, both physically and mentally, demonstrated his strength and determination. But as we all know, no journey is without its challenges, and only time will reveal how this scare affects his future decisions. What's next for Yaman? Will this incident change his busy schedule? As Yaman continues to work tirelessly across multiple continents, fans and industry insiders alike are wondering if this health scare will lead him to make any changes in his lifestyle. Will he take more time to rest and recharge, or will he continue pushing through with the same intensity as before? Only time will tell. However, it is clear that this experience has not deterred him from his professional goals. His fans, meanwhile, continue to support him every step of the way, eagerly anticipating his next big project and waiting to see how his career continues to evolve. Whether he's on screen or on a plane to his next destination, Yaman's journey is far from over. For now, fans can breathe easy knowing their favorite actor is safe and back to doing what he loves. And as always, stay tuned to magazine news and gossip for all the latest updates on Yaman's career, health, and more.